twice. So if you like the video, like the damn video and subscribe. So journalists finally had the courage to ask somebody in the Biden administration about the U.S. empire's continued persecution against Julian Assange. Again, only fucking crime Julian Assange committed is exposing the crimes of the U.S. empire. And of course, the U.S. empire, instead of actually going after the people who committed those crimes, they have gone after Julian Assange for the crime of being a fucking journalist. And of course, none of the fucking corporate media sycophants have asked Biden or anybody else in his administration anything about Julian Assange. As far as I could tell, it took this French journalist, Remy Buisine, to ask Biden's Secretary of State Antony Blinken about it. And of course, Antony Blinken gave a very non-committal answer, complete fucking word salad bullshit. Was the historian Howard Zinn, may he rest in peace, said, "You can't be neutral on a moving train. You're either on the right side of history, i.e. wanting to free Julian Assange to pardon him. Obviously should have never been fucking charged with anything in the first place. The fucking journalist was supposed to have the freedom of the press in these United States. But that's obviously not the case. And so here's Biden, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, being asked by Remy Buisine, this French journalist, about Julian Assange's continued persecution. So it says on the whistleblower Julian Assange, he's still threatened with extradition towards the U.S. And there have been several appeals here in France and Europe to drop the charge against him. Basically all over the fucking world, unless you're a complete fucking shill for the U.S. empire, you obviously support Julian Assange. If not, you can fuck off, frankly. And then he said, "What? How do you answer that today? What's?" Said, hard for me to express myself on that because there is a leak. No, it's fucking not. It's pretty fucking simple. If you had any type of courage or moral integrity, you would say, I stand with fucking Julian Assange. This administration should not be persecuting them. This is something I'm going to go fucking scream my head off at Biden. Pardon Julian Assange. Drop these charges. It's attack on press freedom. It's the biggest attack against a free press since probably, Daniel Ellsberg and the Pentagon Papers. This is fucked up. I'm not going to stand for this. Instead, he said, hard for me to express myself on that because get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Again, that's not fucking surprising, but still fucking deeply, deeply disturbing. But he speaks French, though, so how cool. Said, I have to let it be. To let the legal case run its course. I understand both questions and emotions. No, you fucking don't. If you understood it, you'd be coming out in defense of fucking Julian Assange. Again, the only crime he committed was being a journalist, was not being afraid to expose these crimes of the U.S. empire, and for that he has paid dearly and continues to. He's still locked up in that high security Belmarsh prison in the UK because of the U.S. But it's a question which I really can't say anything because I'm a complete fucking ghoul without a spine, and I'm willing to say or do anything to get in this position of power, and I don't really want to fuck that up. Sorry. That's how it should be translated. Said, and then Remy said, it's true that it arouses strong feelings. How is it possible that a whistleblower is not more protected than that? Because he exposed the crimes of the U.S. empire. And I feel like, as journalists, kudos for him for, having the stones, having the gall to ask these questions. But again, he could have went even harder at him than he did. I fucking would have. But again, I wouldn't be able to get in this type of position because I'm not going to fucking toe the line for the U.S. empire. He said because, after all, it's been an issue for years, the extradition which is announced. And that's why there's a lot of questions and comments. Lincoln, I understand the question, I understand the motion, I just still let the legal system, what a fucking, just a a real spineless piece of shit. You're not willing to stand up for Julian Assange. Again, the greatest attack against a free press, which will have such chilling effects if he is extradited to the United States, more than likely spend the rest of his life in a high security prison. What type of chilling effect do you think will have on organizations, on journalists like WikiLeaks, who might be tempted to actually hold the US empire accountable for the crimes? And his, gotta let the legal system run it. Yeah, fuck off. Fuck off. What a piece of shit. Is it a case that could be studied by your admin? No doubt, because it's a case that remained open. A case that remains open. God, I mean, what an absolute non-answer. But again, completely expected from anybody in the Biden administration to actually not be on the right side of history on any issue. Again, this is another continuation of fucking Trump. Might be able to speak French and put on, you know, these nice airs, but underneath it all, it's more fucking imperialism, more support for the U.S. empire, more persecution of Julian Assange. Fucking disgusting. Okay, a whistleblower instead of a journalist. But yeah, I don't know why I call him a whistleblower. He's a journalist. He isn't squirming enough. Fucking disgusting. But again, not surprising to get this type of mealy mouth answer from somebody in the Biden administration. You know, with Trump, Pompeo would just come out and, you know, talk all kinds of shit about Julian Assange and how he's a criminal, this and that. And now it's like, well, I can't really comment. There's emotions on both sides, so we're slightly better. No, you're fucking not. Disgusting. Like the video if you like the damn video. Free Julian Assange. Pardon Julian Assange. All proud of the people. Peace, much love.